Good morning, people. How are you? What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about Kamala Harris. All right, so last night, I'm on my way to work. I just figured I'd chat with you guys on my way to work. So last night, Kamala Harris had a town hall. Yeah, she had a town hall on CNN, and a lot of people from the audience, were allowed to ask questions. I'm sure these questions probably were told to her, or there was probably like a certain, list of questions we gonna ask about stuff we ain't gonna ask about, because she seemed like she was pretty prepared for all the questions that were asked of her. So basically, they stood up, they read their question. Well, it started off with her and the guy sitting down, and they were talking, and he asked her a whole bunch of questions. She answered the questions, and then later on, when she was answering questions for the audience, she would get up, she would walk around. And so I think this was okay. So ever since she said she was gonna run for president, I belong to this group on Facebook, and they started, it's 5 seconds after the lady said she was gonna run, they was all in her comments about, she did this in California, she did that in California, she's not the person who should be the president, she's not going to win, she's not electable, she's not this, she's not that. It's a lot of, it's a lot of doubt, okay? And I'm not 100% sold on Kamala myself, because I don't have anything against her. I'm not from California. I'm not abreast on all the things that she's done in California. I've tried to read up about it, but she has promoted some policies that have kept black men in jail maybe for longer than they should be. But at the same time, I be thinking, like, y'all cousin Pookie can't stay out of jail, then bitch, half of that is his fault, okay? Because the nigga keep going back to jail. But I do understand that, systems are in place in America. The justice system is very flawed, and all that type of stuff. So they do need some reform in the justice system. But tell your cousin Pookie stay his ass out of jail in the meantime, okay? He ain't got to worry about the system if he ain't in the system. That's all I'm saying, okay? That's all I'm saying. Cousin Pookie ain't got to worry about the system if you ain't in the system. Okay? She did some things that people don't agree with, people don't like. She said she was for body cameras before body cameras was a thing. Now, I don't know how true that is, because, other people were saying that she voted against the body cameras. And it was something else that they said that she voted no on, but she said that she... What was it, y'all? What issue was it? I can't remember what it was, but it was some issue where they said she voted no, but she didn't really vote no. She just didn't vote at all. She put no input, so she had no input on whatever the decision was. So it was pretty interesting to hear her pitch to the American people. She sounds very poised. She sounds very, educated. She knows what she was talking about. I like how she was, hard hitting. Like she didn't say Donald Trump at any time, but she said the president several times. This administration. She kind of diverted some questions. I ain't gonna lie, because the girl asked her about immigration. What does she think? Should there be a pathway to citizenship? I can't remember if her comment or her question had anything about DACA students in it, or DACA kids. And she said her answer was like all about DACA and all about, like, she didn't talk about like an immigration plan for people just trying to come into the country, seeking asylum, or just leaving their country and, illegally immigrating to the United States of America. Like, should there be a path to citizenship? Whatever. Because as far as I'm concerned, DACA kids are like, they're like really good citizens. You have to be, and she made a sure to mention that too. They go through this vetting process where they have to vet their criminal record. They have to vet like everything. Are they in school? Are they working? Are they doing this? And then every 2 years or 3 years, something like that, they're required to go in and give all this information about themselves. They can't get in trouble. They have to have a job. They have to be in school. They have to be like all these requirements. So that DACA kids or DACA people are like very good citizens, very productive citizens. They take care of their business. They pay their bills. They do what they're supposed to do. So why are we even going through this for people that's actually contributing to America? Okay? So she talked about DACA for so long, she didn't answer the question. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. And then when they asked her about her record in California, she addressed the fact that, you know, her beliefs versus she was working a job and she had to do her job, and she became a prosecutor because she wanted to be somebody on the inside. You know, she recognized they had people on the outside. It was real, you know, Barack Obama-ish. I'm not gonna lie. It gave me Barack Obama, you know, vibes. But she knows that the system is flawed, and, you know, it was kind of like it was real political. It wasn't really like, I regret the things I've done in the past. Some of my policies have hurt black people. You know, I made some mistakes, and, you know, now I don't want to seem or like it's not genuine, but it is, because I realize now that X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Like, it should have been something like that. I think that's what black people gonna want to hear for us to even, you know, for some of us to even consider voting for her as the president. They also talked about electability. I like the fact that they hit on all the topics that we all been talking about in our little groups, right? Is she electable? Should there be a white man? Because I have said to my friends a few times that I don't think anybody could beat Donald Trump except for another white man. It needs to be a white man, because now is not the time for us to just be in agreement with everything that our candidate. We can have some disagreements, but still have the bigger picture we can agree on. As long as I can agree on the bigger picture and you understand most of my core values and beliefs, I can roll with you. Even if I don't necessarily think you could be the best choice, or you got something in your past you done did. As far as people in the past, you know, because Joe Biden, you know, he got some scandals out there too. You know what I'm saying? So, and not to mention, Joe Biden helped write the crime bill in 1994 that black people crucified Hillary Clinton for, and she wasn't even the damn president, child. And he helped write it. He was one of the people who helped write it. He was also like chairman of the committee when Clarence Thomas got elected to the Supreme Court, and the whole Anita Hill drama and all of that stuff. Then there's like some pedophile thing that's like floating around. I don't know. I need to look that up though. But he got some scandals with him too. But as long as we know he's not a pedophile, okay? And as long as we have some things we can agree on, you know, I feel like we need to beat Donald Trump at this point. And I feel like all of these people trying to jump their ass in the race, like Bernie, I love Bernie, and I voted for him. I did. But what I'm not going to do is, Bernie, it's just sit down, baby. Baby, it's just, don't do it. Just don't do it, boo-boo. Don't do it. So, you got that. I think that Joe Biden is a really good candidate. You know what I'm saying? Pending, like I said, we don't find out some horrible shit about him. I think he's a good candidate for the presidency. I also think that maybe Biden and what's his name from Houston, I think they should run. You know, the one who what's his name? What's his name, y'all? And he lost in Houston against Ted Cruz. Him. I definitely think that they could be a good ticket together. Or maybe Kamala being vice president, somebody else being president. So electability was one of my personal issues. Bitches, you win. Is you gonna win? Okay, you went to HBCU, you black, you got a little bit of size of both of the coin, you in a sorority. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had to vote for Kamala against somebody else, she made it through the primaries, then hell yeah, I'ma vote for her. Straight up. I ain't even gonna lie. Anybody is better than Donald Trump. My dead dog is better than Donald Trump. I would take anything. Literally. It doesn't, this country is, listen, we need somebody who know what to do. Who know what they doing. A politician, in my opinion. Yes, politicians are shady. Yes, politicians do be out for their own self-interest. Yes, they all do some shady shit, but you have to understand that the onus is often put on Democrats, I'm going to be honest with you, to govern, to work with people, to, you know, bend, to work through whatever issue we got going on. And now, and you know, we end up having to make compromises. And some of those compromises we don't want. And I totally agree with Bill Maher before he got canceled. He said that, you know, Democrats want an ideologically perfect person. They want a perfect person. Because anytime you bring anything up with Democrats, any person steps up, there's always 50,000 things that's wrong with them. Something they did, something they voted against. Like, people can't change, people can't grow, people can't make bad decisions, people can't do stuff for a power grab and then say, I really shouldn't have did that because that hurt my people. Yes, people have suffered because of that, but at the same time, you can't change the past. It is what it is. So you either gonna move on, or and furthermore, if somebody like her gets elected, or Hillary Clinton would have got elected, we can hold their feet to the fire. We can make them do what we want them to do. Okay, versus a Donald Trump or a Republican that's in office, and we can't hold them their feet to the fire because they don't care about us. They don't give a damn. Okay, get up in there and start changing everything. So I feel like at the end of the day, sometimes Democrats are short-sighted, and I really wish that they would think about the big picture and who can beat Donald Trump. And Bill Maher also said that, you know, Republicans gonna pick who they can win. They will go behind a child molester, wife beater, murderer if they could win. They don't care. They want to win. And I'm not saying we need to be trash, you know, like that, because I mean, I don't have nothing against Republicans at all. Like, I don't have anything against them at all, and my phone's shaky, y'all. Like, not even a little bit. I feel like we have some differences in opinion, but other than that, I ain't got no problems with no Republicans. But Donald Trump ain't no Republican. Okay? He's not a Republican. He's something else. So, if you rolling with him, you something else too. That's all I got to say about that. So, you know, I feel like it was a good introduction to the United States of America for Kamala, because I'm sure there's a lot of people across the country that don't even know who she is, have no idea who she is. If you haven't caught that little soundbite of her questioning the Attorney General and all of that stuff that was going on during that time. So I thought it was a good introduction. So it's yet to be seen. I'm not 100% sold on her or anybody for that matter, because I need to hear what they talking about. Like, what's the actual plan? She said something about a lift bill that would allow people who make less than $100,000 a year to get a $6,000 tax credit, plus you would get like $500 a month. It'll be family, so it probably wouldn't be me. Okay, I'ma still be broke. I'm a teacher, so I'ma still be broke over here. There's homes that don't make a lot of money. They will be able to do that. I think that's gonna be a lot. Okay, because you cutting taxes. She also let us know that she was firmly against the wall. No bill with any type of wall. She's not gonna do it. Okay, she said she ain't gonna do it. So I was here for that. You know, I like that she had a hard no. So other than that, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good introduction to the United States of America. So tell me what you thought about it, if you liked it or not. Okay, let me know in the comments. What I want to talk about was Rent. Did y'all see Rent? I felt like, okay, let me preface this by saying I'm not a big Rent person. Okay, like I never loved Rent. I grew up in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? So I perfectly understand people loving Rent. It came out in 1996. And so I was 15 years old, and I have a friend who's in love with it. She went to go see it every time it came. She's like totally in love with the whole thing. I personally am not really into it because I don't like rock musicals. They're not really my thing. I don't like Hair. I don't like Rent. I don't really care for it. They have some songs, obviously we all love Seasons of Love, and there's some songs that we, you know, like from the show, but just the overall show, I don't even really too much care for the story like that, because it don't make no sense. I mean, the most dramatic thing about the story is like a okie doke. So you know, I don't really, it's not my favorite episode. So I'm speaking from an unbiased position. I don't have any bias towards the original cast or nothing like that, okay? But I thought that overall it was okay. I feel bad for the actors that worked and practiced so hard to end up not being able to do it live like they had rehearsed. They did a show for the live studio audience, and the guy who broke his foot, if you don't know, the lead actor that plays Roger, he broke his foot during the last dress rehearsal. And so they showed us clips from a performance they had taped earlier that weekend, and the studio audience got a live show with him rolling around in a wheelchair, child. So, you know, it's not the show that they practice, is what I'm saying. They did a show, but it wasn't a show that they planned on doing. So I felt like, you know, I felt bad for them, because I've been in that position where you doing something that you didn't end up doing, you didn't sign up to do, and you be feeling like, well, damn, you know, like I really was ready to do this one show, and they kind of got cheated. It's live theater, so it just is what it is. Another thing is, I definitely thought they should have had understudies. I feel like for a professional show, why wouldn't you have an understudy? It could have been somebody who, like a young Broadway person, okay, who could just jump in and do their thing. It could have been somebody who was another star, a well-known star, but not, you know, super famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like maybe it should have been a secret. They had, you know, but there should have been some understudies. No tea, no shade. I feel like y'all paying these people all this money, and you know anything could happen. Why would you not have understudies? That's crazy to me. So they didn't have understudies. So The show was somewhat lackluster. Like I said, I was a bit disappointed because you expect powerhouse singing, rock stars. I felt like some of them were marking. You can tell it was a dress rehearsal. That's why when you do a show, boys and girls, make sure that you sing out, full out. Your dress rehearsal, you should be singing out full, because most of the time for a dress rehearsal at a professional theater, you have an audience. It's a show, okay? It's not practice. They tell you, okay, we're gonna stop if we have to stop, and we might have to go back, or that's happened maybe one time since I've been working in the theater that's ever happened. So yeah, I feel like people were marking. Tinashe could have sung out some more, but maybe she was trying to save her voice for later on that week. So I feel like it was a lot of things that went wrong. The crowd was too loud. The sound mixing wasn't the best. But they made the best of it. Brandon Michael Dixon, he did a fantastic job. He kind of saved the day with the reprise of Cover You. The little guy who was playing Mark, he did a good job. The little Hispanic guy, very, very good. I felt like Roger was good. I mean, he was Awesome Roger. He just, it was just pre-taped. I think he was singing full out. Dixon was definitely singing full out. Vanessa Hudgens, I gave that girl a whole new name. Vanessa Hudgens did a fantastic job. I thought she was really good, Maureen. Her voice was great. Her performance was great. Like, she brought a little life to the show. Her and the other girl, I don't know her name. I feel bad about that. But they both did a great job playing their parts. I feel like I know that other girl from something else. I just don't know exactly what show it is. Somebody tell me if y'all know. But I feel like they did the best they could. In the last 15 minutes with the finale, that was great. That was the best part of the whole show, was the finale with the original cast. And you saw Tay Diggs and old boy from Law and Order. Like, I didn't even know he was a Broadway star until I saw Rent the movie that came out in the 2000s, right? I didn't even know that he was a star. So, I mean, he was a Broadway, figure. So that was dope. Like I said, Tay Diggs, Idina Menzel, all these famous people. Your girl from Cold Case and the girl from 911, the girlfriend. She done been in a lot of Broadway musicals. I know that she's quite the Broadway professional or whatever, but she wasn't in the original. She was like a replacement for one of the girls. But she's in the movie too. So it was interesting to see. I thought they did overall, I thought they did the best they could do. I kind of wish they had a do-over. No tea, no shade. I wish they could do it over again. But this man done broke his foot, so he's going to be out of commission for a minute. So, yeah, that's all I got to talk about. I'm at the job now. I'm probably late. So, I will holler at y'all in a minute because I'm about to watch The Passage and The Black Lightning. And I'll get back to you later on today. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll holler at you next time. Peace.